Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Shake shoe bob shooby doo doo booby doo dow.
And the shot rang out, bang!
Hot dog!
Don't hesitate! It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow!
Listen, all ye people, you who feel bad, you who think I'm such a fool, and you who think I'm mad. I come to sing of happiness, not too much of sorrow. Come to sing of a hope I hold for a humankind loving tomorrow. Humankind loving tomorrow. What makes you feel so sad? Ask infinite intelligence to help you out with the bad. I come to sing of a way to let your soul fly free. I hope that you can understand, hope that you can see, hope that you can see. Fool to be humble I do long, but if I was a humble fool I wouldn't be singing this song. Look inside and you will find happiness untold. Understand the cause of your pain. You could come in from the cold. You could come in from the cold. No one knows any better than you what makes you feel so sad. Ask infinite intelligence to help you out with the bad. I ask for you to help yourself. Your soul will be your guide. The golden age is almost here. Open your heart so wide. Open your heart so wide. Howdy, my name is Ralph Litwin, and this is a very unusual episode of Horses Sing None of It. So welcome, and we'd like to welcome some guests here today. We have a storyteller, Mary Platt. Welcome to the show.
Hi,
Mary. And a dancer, Pranati Pratap.
Hello.
Nice to have you on the show today. And these ladies do some very unique performing. They gave me a little sample of it for a private performance for me to see what they did recently, and it's simply wonderful. I'm glad to share it with all the viewers today. So how did the two of you meet and start performing together?
Well, a mutual friend introduced us. Pranati is a yoga teacher.
Mm-hmm.
She just came over from India. And our friend had the idea that since I'm interested in Indian mythology, that we should get together and combine the two art forms.
Yeah, and my dance of style is really a storytelling style, and I thought that it could go very well with the storyteller. And Mary had the flavor of Indian mythology and Indian philosophy, so it was very easy and a pleasure to work with.
And the feeling is mutual.
Very good. One of my favorite questions to ask people who come on the show is, and I'd like to ask you individually, how it is that you both got interested in performing, what it was that inspired you as children, or as, you know, whenever it was that you got inspired to perform.
Well, actually, when I think about being a performer for my profession, it's surprising to me because I was always extremely shy. I hated having attention on me, and of course now I love it. But I always loved stories and drama, and I was very unhappy with what I was doing. I was working in the corporate world and just was drawn more and more to storytelling. And once I started playing with the stories, I realized that the stories are so alive for me that when I'm performing, it's like the story is there between me and the audience, and hopefully that's what the audience sees. So it's just been a delight.
And you, Pranati?
I think as a child, I always wanted to become a dancer. And luckily, I always got good teachers, which is so important, especially in any Indian classical art form. I always got very good teachers, and when I started, I didn't think that I wanted to become a performer or anything, or what it involves, but my teacher really guided me very well, and I think I enjoy it because especially this style of dancing, it's so much of stuff is extempore, that it's alive every moment of that you're doing it. So it's wonderful, I think.
And what was it that brought you to this country?
Actually, I came here to teach yoga. This studio yoga sponsored me, and I've come here to teach yoga as well as propagate my dance form.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I came here.
Uh-huh. So you're teaching dance as well?
I'm not teaching, I'm just performing.
Just performing?
Yes.
Well, we have a long piece that you are going to perform, and
Yes.
do you want to introduce it? We're going to take a public service announcement break in between, but maybe there's something you want to say about this before we do that, and then we'll come back with the performance.
Well, actually, what we're going to do for you this afternoon is a part of a much longer piece. It's a piece about Krishna, who is a mythological character, and we've tried to cut it down to about 15 minutes. So I think the piece is self-explanatory. It combines both Kathak with storytelling.
All right. Well, we're going to take our public service announcement break right now, and when we come back, we'll see storytelling and Kathak with Mary Platt and Pranati Pratap.
That's right.
Well, that's a hard one to get. Okay, so we'll see you in a minute.
This is a molecule of water in the soil. Water and other molecules are absorbed by this tree root. Inside the tree, the water moves up the trunk, through a branch, and into a leaf. Here, in a leaf cell, the tree uses sunlight to transform water into new molecules called oxygen. Trees and other plants release millions of these oxygen molecules into the air every day. It's the very same oxygen that you and I breathe. Say thank you. Protect the forest.
In India, there's a saying that goes like this: there's a light that shines beyond all things on earth. It shines beyond us all, beyond the heavens, beyond the highest, the very highest heavens. And that is the light that shines in our hearts. And that's the place where this story happens. Once, there was one called Krishna.
What's from her?
He was a god incarnated into human form. He was of noble birth, but he was raised by the simple cowherd people in a place called Vrindavan, which was a small village in the middle of a lush forest by the Yamuna River. As a child, Krishna was extremely mischievous. And as a youth, he was the embodiment of masculinity, both earthy and spiritual. All of the cowherd girls, who were called the gopis, were his lovers, and he was their beloved. Their romance was a wonderful exchange because he taught them how to look just beyond the surface of ordinary reality, to find the magic and the joy that lies just beneath the surface, while they taught him the sweetness of human love. Now, of all the gopis, there was one more radiant than the rest, and her name was Radha. She was Krishna's favorite. As children, they played together like brother and sister, but when they reached adolescence, the nature of their love changed. Krishna speaks. Her slender body like a flash of lightning, her feet, color of dawn, stepping swiftly among the other lotus petals. Her slender body, like a flash of lightning. Her feet, color of dawn, stepping swiftly among the other lotus petals. She plays among her friends, plays with my heart. When she raises her eyebrows, I see the arching waves of the river Kalindi. Her careless look lights on a leaf, and the whole forest flames into blue flowers. When she smiles, a delicate sweetness fills me, fragrance of lily and jasmine. Time only fueled the mutual passion between Krishna and Radha. Every day when they met, Krishna's heart pounded in his throat. Radha's knees grew weak until they could stand it no longer. Through a mutual friend, they arranged their first tryst, and on the appointed night, Radha adorned herself in fine silk. She put on her most beautiful jewelry. She scented her skin with fragrant oils. And, looking her loveliest, she walked with her friend to the trysting place by the Yamuna River. Fingering the border of her friend's sari, nervous and afraid, sitting tensely on the edge of Krishna's couch. As her friend left, she too looked to go, but in desire, Krishna blocked her way. He was infatuated. She, bewildered. He was clever. And she, naive. He reached out his hand to touch her. She quickly pushed it away. He looked into her face. Her eyes filled with tears. He held her forcefully. She trembled violently and hid her face from his kisses behind the edge of her sari. Then she lay down, frightened, beautiful as a doll. He hovered round her like a bee round a lotus in a painting.